G'day Welders, this is class number 2. Today we're going to talk about the Pythagorean theorem and when we're solving triangles with 45 degrees in them. So most of you have probably worked with the Pythagorean theorem before. It's when we're given two sides of a right angle triangle and we need to find the third side. What we want to try to remember that this side here is called the hypotenuse and this side here it always has to be the longest side. Always, always, always. So if we're working these out and this side ends up to be shorter than those other two sides, you know you made a mistake. So, C equals a squared plus b squared, and then we take the square root of that. So remember, when we square a number, it's not times 2 here, it's times itself, right? And the square root key is on your calculator. You just hit shift and square root. When we get into class, I'll show everyone where that is on your calculator, but most of you probably already know. So for a sample problem, if side A is 16 inches, so it's 16 inches from here to here. Side B is 9 inches, and we're looking for side C. So we have a squared plus b squared. 16 squared, 16 times 16 is we get 256. 9 times 9, we get 81. Add those two together, we get 337, Then we hit shift and square root on your calculator, and we get 18.36 inches. We're in inches because these numbers were in inches. So we know how to get our 0.36 to a 16. It would end up being 6/16 or 3/8. So your final answer is 18 3/8 or 1 foot 6 3/8. Told you those conversions were not going to go away. Now, sometimes you'll be given the longest side. You'll be given side C. And when you're given the longest side, we need to subtract. So in this case, we're looking for side A. It would be C squared minus B squared. So 32 squared, 32 times 32. Now, 1 foot 8. We have to get that all the inches. You know how to do that. 1 foot 8 is the same as 20 inches. So 20 squared is 20 times 20. We subtract the two numbers, we get 624. You hit shift and square root. 24.98 inches. Taking our 0.98 to a fraction. This one would round up, so we would round that up to the next whole number. End up with 25 inches or 2 feet 1 inch. See you in the next video where we talk about 45-degree triangles. Alright, we're going to keep going here. We're going to talk about some 45-degree angles and triangles. So if we know this is 90 degrees here, and if this was 45 degrees, then this angle up here would also have to be 45 degrees. Because all three angles have to equal 180 degrees. Now, the good thing about this, when we have the 45 degrees going on, the measurement from here to here and the measurement from here to here has to be the same. So if it was 10 inches from here to here, it has to be 10 inches from here to here. Now, this is where this gets a little confusing. This side here, again, always the longest side, now has three different names. This can be your hypotenuse, the travel, or the diagonal. Mostly, for you tradespeople, we're using the terms travel and diagonal. This side of the triangle here is either called the run or the offset, and this going up and down here is either the rise or the offset. Okay? Now your Pythagorean theorem will always work, but there is a shortcut when we have this 45 degrees going on, and it's this constant right here. 1.414. So if we know this side of the triangle and we were looking for the longest side, we would times it by 1.414. If we were given the longest side of the triangle, looking for the other two sides, because they have to be the same, all we need to do is divide by 1.414, right? Especially when people start fabricating some things, this 45-degree triangle is going to be your friend. So, a sample problem here. Find the travel if the run is 45 inches. So the run is 45 inches. We're looking for the travel. We're looking for that longer side. We times it by 1.414. 45 times 1.414, 63.63 inches, because this number was in inches, right? So we know what to do here. We take our 0.63, we times by 16, 10/16 or 5/8. Final answer, 63 5/8 or 5 foot 3 5/8. Depending on how the question asks you to answer it, you're going to have to answer it either one of those ways. Now for this one over here, find the rise if the hypotenuse is 51 inches. So this time, we know it's 51 inches from here to here, and we're looking for the rise. So we're going to divide by 1.414. 51 divide 1.414, 36.07, we know what to do with that decimal, we times it by 16, we get 1/16. Final answer, 36 and 1/16, or 3 feet and 1/16, okay? So in today's class, you're going to have, I think it is one worksheet to hand in. There'll be a few word problems thrown in there as well, and in the next video, I'll go through some word problems. See you then.